this little van behind me is about to be a 500 horsepower turbo monster. Let's get into it. Ollie has This is my 1997 Suzuki Carry bus. Originally from Japan, I found it abandoned in a farmer's field and bought it off my mate Lewis for £300. I wrapped it black, put some branding on it, put some wheels off an old classic MG, and then drove it around. Originally, this came with a 22 horsepower, 1 litre, 4-cylinder engine. It was a little bit underwhelming. We needed a solution for this. The most obvious answer I could come up with was buy a crash motorbike off eBay, load it in the back, put the van on a truck, send it to Ireland to some guy that you met on Facebook, and then wait a whole year. In the meantime, I built a 500 horsepower kit car, which we call Kevin. Eventually, I got sick of waiting, so I got in the car, drove to Ireland, had a Guinness, picked up the vans, loaded them on the trailer, and drove all the way back. With the vans back in the country, it was time for us to start on bike engine swap number 1. Right, Ralph, what do we need to do now, mate?
Pull the crane out. Yay! Strong.
Everything was going so well until this happened. That sucks. Morning! He's here! So this is Ollie. Ollie, in your own words, who are you and what do you do?
Well, I'm Muzzle Fab and I do pretty much anything involved with cars, really, to be honest.
Yes!
A lot of drift car stuff.
Gets better.
If someone wants something doing, I'll do it most of the time.
How do you want to approach this?
Get everything out of the way and then we'll have to put the new engine in there, fit it in there and get it all set up in the right position where we want it, and then start mapping out for where we can shoot some tubes for putting the engine mounts in the cradle, really. So
I guess this is what we were talking about on the way up here, is that's the length that we've got to play with. Now, because the V-twin was running like that, it's now not. We're going to spin the engine back to being more north-south, which is the opposite way of what the bike is. But we've got a sump in there that we need to get on the engine, clear all of this stuff out of the way, do some grinding, make some sparks, and then hopefully start laying out some engine. We've already got the radiator mocked up in there. There's a little bit of work. That's the biggest radiator I could find. And the reason why we've got this funky little splitter is to try and force some air, because the radiator actually sits under there like that, which is not the best for airflow. So let's hook into it, make some sparks and make this happen. See you in a bit. Woohoo! One! Right, so here is the sprocket cover and the clutch master cylinder. What I need to do is take this off so that I can get our adapter, and then hopefully the splines are right. I've had to guess, I don't know, but then that can go on there. That then is going to be our conversion from our normal sprocket on the bike into our drive shaft. So we've managed to get the sprocket off that was sitting in. It's got a really big spacer on here in the back of it, which is stopping there from being seated all the way. But there's loads of grip on it and there's loads of spline engagement. So we're just going to send it, and now we're going to whip the water pump off because we've got a water pump delete. We've done some learning and it's not good. That's where that goes. This here is our reverse box, which is meant to go directly behind that. So as you can see with the tolerances that we've got there, that ain't gonna fit. This is the cable clutch off the old van, which is pretty simple. That goes on there. As you push the clutch with your foot, it pulls that little lever there, and then that extends the worm drive. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a little bracket to put that onto that hole, and probably that hole down there with some little spaces in behind it. Make sure that it engages properly, and then that is our setup for the clutch. And then the reverse box will simply come along and do what it did in the last van and bolt straight onto that. Job done. So this cool little device is a swing arm pickup. So how this works is it uses, see, the G-force of the car. When you're in a particular position, it does that, and then you get back on throttle and it does that, and then you brake and it does that. Pretty cool, lovely bit of kit that. Like, I love it when you can see all the little grooves in it. Again, this has come from Jacket at Whole Shot, but yeah, 50 mils thick. We're gonna put that on that, and with the beauty of YouTube, one billet sub.
Just ignore that bit.
Whee! Little baby. I've taken the turbo and the turbo manifold off. Now it's designed on the bike to sit really, really well, on the lawnmower I should say, because that's what it came out of. To sit down there like that on the engine. We need it to be up, or it's going to hit that chassis rail there, which Ollie has just made a big mess, cut a big hole, and now we're going to be able to get that out. I think what we were just talking then going, it'd probably fit, but we know that we've got to move that anyway, so we'll probably take that out just to give us some more space, grind all the edges flat so that we don't slice our legs open, or try not to grind out more than what we need to grind out, and then it'll be time for a coffee and then hook into it. Chuck some tubes and rubbish.
Yeah, it looks like that's a pretty half decent one there.
Oh! There's a man who's thinking. Right, so just like that, engine's in. Boom!
I'm assured the riv nut in the middle is 100% centre.
It is.
And then for left to right height, we've got two like swage marks that should be the same on both sides of the cab. And that's head. I think that's not bad off. That's a pretty good angle as well, to be honest.
It's a hell of a lot better than what it was, right?
I mean, it like squats like hell.
It'll flatten out,
yeah,
right?
flatten out then, yeah.
So you can see there where the tape measure is.
That'll be roughly transferable.
Right, Ollie, what do we know?
It fits a lot better than the other one. We've got some good drive shaft angle now. Everything seems to bolt up and sort of work how we want it to, pretty much. And then we'll be able to get it set exactly where we want it. It's just a lot of putting in, moving around a little bit and trying to think 10 steps forward and what's going to be in there and how that's going to affect. Because you do one thing and it affects something else down the road.
Do you want to talk us through what a pinion angle is?
I can try and explain it. So pinion angle is basically when what the rear diff angle is. It's a lot more important on a like a solid axle car as the diff moves up and down. But basically you've got to have this angle and this angle the same as each other. The heights can be different, but the angles have got flow, so the UJs don't bind up or anything on each other. Drop some tubes down, along, back up again. Make a cradle really for the engine to sit on. Once they're in, get the engines exactly how we want and join it up with some plates.
What did we learn, Ollie?
Well, we can, in theory, keep the standard turbo manifold and turbo in its stock location, which is going to save a huge amount of work, make everything a lot more simple. It does pull the engine across a little bit, so the prop angle is a little bit not ideal at the moment, so we're just contemplating whether we're going to run it like this or we'd have to go.
I guess if you were to even tie, like, because there's no way you're taking that out.
No, you have to engine out really.
Your engine out, but how often do you actually take your exhaust manifold off?
Very seldom. Like turbo you can change in the car, it's if you've got to do any head work really. Internal, then the engine's got to come out anyway.
Well, I mean, if I'm doing a head, the engine's coming out.
Yeah, definitely. So
But you got to think it's 2 fuel lines, 2 intercooler lines.
not a lot really, no.
You know, everything had just come out.
Yeah.
So you can see back there, there's our prop shaft. It's come down significantly, and you can, this is the plate here where the brace used to run. So we've actually come probably slightly forward. We're significantly down, but we're still, like, the down I think will help. That dry shaft might need shortening, and they're probably going to want to make a new one.
Make a new one.
The challenge underneath is, ideally you want the exhaust coming out that way and the intake on this side. But this is backwards, and all you turbo guys are going to tell me there's a really easy way of doing it, but I don't know what it is.
Biggest thing we got is the wastegate is welded onto the housing, yeah, so we can't really, unless you get a new housing and put the wastegate onto the manifold. But at the moment it will work how it is, just 180 out the exhaust back down. The only real disadvantage is the boost pipe's going to be a bit longer, having to come around the engine there. But it's quite small piping anyway, so it's hopefully shouldn't have too much extra lag really with it.
So what do you think we do now? Sit and stare at it for ages?
Yeah, contemplate life. No, I think we really pull trigger in a minute and get a couple of tubes in underneath. I reckon that'll be alright. It's nothing crazy, is it? It's nowhere near as bad as it was before.
What are you doing here, Ollie?
Cutting out a end cap for the tube because it's such a tight sort of like landing spot where we're going to come up next to the engine. We're going to put a little tube stub out, cap the end of it to give it the strength so the tube doesn't try and squash itself, and then we'll be able to come up with a bend radius up into the bottom of that.
Wicked.
We have the technology here now to be able to cut out simple stuff like that.
Perfect circles.
So I've got an extreme plasma table here, UK company based in Gloucestershire. Good entry level machine really. It's not that you probably want to be running it all day, every day, but for the smaller custom stuff it's ideal. Hopefully I've got a bit of air in it. So like we get two main tubes in the bottom.
Yeah.
Then we get some engine, so the engine probably the tabs on. And that'll be the engine set.
I'm trying to convince Ollie to start his own YouTube channel. So if you want to see more of Ollie, give us a comment. He's an absolute ledge, he does an amazing job. We're just talking about how he doesn't charge enough, so I'm expecting my invoice to go up.
It's really nice to shoot this fairly low so it gives us some bit of protection.
Yeah.
So that's the theory there. I'll have the little tube with a cap on it. This one will bend through across, go underneath the transfer box and shoot back up to the other spreader. So we'll get this one in first, set on the bottom and then go from there really. Put it on the computer.
They'll be really cold.
Yeah, just like that.
Right. I'm going to get back on with this manifold so that we can put the engine in position so that we can get going. See you in a bit.
Unfortunately not all going to be TIG welded.
you do you, boo, make it. Well, you've seen my standards, Ollie. So I think that square, the laser line there, not sure if you can see it, but it's running in line with the rib on that. So we want to get the engine nice and squared up so that the driveline flange and the diff flange are in line, although the outer line. We think we're happy with that. It's better than what it was, way better than what it was.
Something like that on there. Yeah, when you got the V1 plates already there. Nice spreader plate.
Your welder sounds exactly the same as mine does.
Yeah. And there'll be something that'll go down like that. Plenty of scope there then for the filter, the intake pipe and the other pipe there.
What you had. So we've got the tube bender out. We've got the base there. Engine is slightly, the pinion angle's not exactly the same. We're about half a degree out, which we're fine with because we don't really want to lean the engine back any more than that. Tube bender's out. Now we get to go on the messy side of the shed. Use this awesome little machine. Yeah, now we've cut it all out. Now they've put some back in.
Bend it all first and then notch it in. That's the starting point for the start of the bend.
Beast! For all of you guys at home that are struggling with manual benders and everything.
I have to do like a main hoop in a car, you got a big area around it. I don't do cage, I don't do anything like that all the time. That's a nice little notch. So that's the theory at the moment. This tube will come down below, miss everything, give protection to the bottom side of the sump, but then dropping it down straight away with this, we've still got room for the air filter, the boost pipe to come off of there and up round, and then we're going to shoot off of this main tube under here to pick up on the transfer box. That's the plan at the moment.
Good plan.
Might all change. It's all very precise science, this is.
That is me for the day. We're going to leave Ollie here to continue on his merry journey of putting everything in, and then we'll be back nice and bright and early in the morning to continue on. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, like, subscribe, give the thumbs up. See you in the morning. Guess what, Ollie? It's not raining.
No, for a change, yeah.
Oh, that's a flash new haircut.
Yeah, I took him last night, yeah. Yeah, not raining. Engine's back in, so.
Oh, bloody hell, you did well.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, he's gonna have to hulk it in there himself. Woohoo! How good does that look? Oh, they look like my welds.
Yeah, hold it in place.
What's the plan for today then, big boy?
get the engine all mounted up will be the plan really, and after that, yeah, I don't see how far we get with that.
Cool. What are you doing here, Ollie?
So here we are making an engine mount tab, something like that, and then you have a scallop duct for the tube, and then straight up to the
bolt hole
engine, and that should go boom, straight through there.
So in a motorbike there's a bolt that starts in here, finishes here, mounts all the way through to the bike frame. Are you going to do one on the top, or do you not think we'll need one?
Yeah, we'll do one on the top as well. Haven't quite decided yet. We'll probably shoot a tube somewhere to pick up on that, but we'll start with the closest, the easiest one, because we know these two, we cut the plates exactly the same, and if this bar is in the right place maybe, then
yeah,
then the engine will be in the right place. But yeah, we tack it on there, or tack one on and give it a bit of a wiggle round. Then once that's located there, we just got to do the tilt to the sumps level and look at that upper mount there where we do a bar that comes along and picks up. But we'll also put some little spaces either side before the tabs, so it's a bit easier. Instead of trying to drop it in and you got like almost interference fit with the tabs, you'll have 10mm each side, so you drop the engine in, jack it all up, put the bar in, spacer, and off you go.
Have we got enough length on that bolt in order to do that?
Yeah, because we've got at least 10mm each side, and we're using 5mm steel for the tabs. So
wicked.
We've got plenty of scope there. Anyway.
Get on. So you're going to stretch out the second one because the engine's on a lean?
No, because it all should be parallel.
Oh, it should be parallel because we put the frame...
Yeah, I hope so. Hence why we put those tubes on a bit of an angle, so everything comes square off those
so
tubes.
We made the decision, like we spoke about yesterday, to build the frame on an angle so everything comes up square off that. So I guess this is where we're reaping the benefits of the hardship that we had yesterday. Now my favourite bit. What we're doing here is, we know that we're out of pinion angle. This is flatter than what the diff is, but we've got a solution for the diff. We're gonna try and shim the diff out so that it goes from being on this angle to being slightly flatter, because at the moment the van's raking forward downhill like 1 degree and the engine's tilting back 3 degrees. Yeah. We don't want the engine to be tilting back anymore because we're already, like 3 degrees is a lot. And Ollie, being the magician that he is, put a bar on that flange, we've put a bar on the diff, and we're just checking to make sure that those two are running parallel. Because you're a legend, how they looking off?
Yeah, bit of luck, yeah, within a mil. Yeah, so not bad really.
Now,
we just got to get the engine, got those two plates tacked on there. They're the same plates profiled out. That tube's pretty good in that sense there. So now all we've got to do, we've got the engine square that way, we've got it on the right tilt, so now we just need to do the rotations of the sump is the level on the floor really. So. And
what it's saying at the moment is this side of the engine needs to come up. So we've got that all in position, we've leveled the engine up. What we're talking about doing now is how we brace the rear of the head. So we've already got these ones that came with the engine. We're going to use them as the PCD, cut all of this other stuff off. What Ollie's decided is we're going to put a plate on that little reinforcing there, a plate on here, and then we're going to have a bar which runs straight across, very similar to this one, straight across there, bolted through there, bolted through there. This one will then bolt straight down onto, or be welded onto that bar. So you'll take the 2 bolts of the head out, and then that will come loose to the engine, and then you'll take the 4 bolts on the chassis rail out, and then that whole bit will come out. So if we ever need to take the engine out, it'll just come up a little bit off the 2 tabs on the bottom, off the front bit, and then it'll slide out here. Make life easy. And as I've just explained to Ollie, doesn't need to look pretty, just needs to work. So we're back over to my favourite machine. Next job. Yee-hoo!
One crossbar in.
Beautiful. So that's the crossbar running. Then we've got these little things which are just been cleaning up. One of them's top, one of them's bottom. That'll go onto there like that, and then we'll be able to go straight down off that.
Another engine mount.
Another one done. Would have been easier if Ollie had bent the bar right the first time.
Yeah.
Just shows that you are in fact a human being.
Probably just get away with one of them, I reckon. On.
Oh, what? And just go down.
Just have the one
there,
bracket, or even come back to here, just a tie
onto something. Yeah, because there's no way you're going to get that in there, and a nut, and a spanner, and the bolt out far enough in order to make it work. So, top engine mount, delete. Do you know one of the cool things that I've learnt now that the engine's coming in is I was really worried that I was going to have to make all the throttle cables and everything up again, but how this engine is, You can see how long the throttle cable is on it. It is absolutely massive, and it's only got to go to there. So we've got plenty of throttle cable. We'll wrap around the whole engine and still probably make it. So this is the clutch cable, which we were talking about, which is going to go down there and get onto that lovely, so we don't need to make a clutch cable. Did bring up with me the little shifter bit, because we've got to try and get a mount off here for our little hydraulic ram, because this thing is going to have paddle shift. This is part numero uno for the paddle shift system. You can see there you got some little 1/4 inch push fit that go into that. We've just got to try and find a way to mount that, and in order to mount that, I brought up, this is off the old engine which Ollie made, this little doohickey here, because I need to try and drill that pin out so that I can get this on the shift, and then that little thing there can replace that ball joint and go click 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 and change gears. 1 bar in. These bolts are way too long. We've run through a bit of a list. I'm not sure how much more we're going to get done today because there's other stuff going on, but she's mounted in. I have sent my mate Jack a message last night going, hey man, we are almost in. It'd be great to have some wiring looms, ECUs, etc, etc, and then if we get them, then famous last words, it should go together quite quickly. Here he is.
Good.
All right, how are you? Been busy little boy, haven't you?
Yeah.
So we've been away for a few days, and Ollie has been beavering away up here to the point where it looks completely different and we haven't managed to film that much. But let's give you a quick update, because I haven't seen it either. So let's go together.
We now got an engine.
Engine fully braced.
Yeah, on its own now.
This is new. She's in there, lovely.
Yeah, that's all battered up now.
And then clutch.
Yeah, clutch is made a new like cable holder with a tube that's going to come off that bottom chassis.
Can I be a
down.
pain?
Yeah.
That's a choke.
Oh, that's the choke one, is it? Which is the clutch one? Oh, that one. I wanted it a bit smaller. I wonder why the other one was bigger. And I thought, I didn't see that cable there. I just thought you had that and then the throttle cable out.
So where were you planning on mounting that off that bottom bar?
Yeah, off that bottom tube. Yeah, that'll get mounted off of there.
Oh yes. Work it. That's solid as, isn't it? How's it? Have you had a look at the pinion angle on this to see if it's changed when we've been playing around with it?
I haven't made it all up again yet, no.
Yeah, cool.
But take that engine mount, modified these brackets now so they all.
Oh, that's turned around.
Yeah, turn that around, modified them now.
Look at this. Just bloody legend, isn't he? I'm not sure if you can see that. Ibs. Oh, that's going to be wicked. Oh, I love the colour in that, eh?
Yeah. Just cut up that old engine mount, weld that on there.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's not how I would have done. I love it how I have an idea in my head. You're like, nah.
What was your idea of mounting it? I can't even remember.
I was just gonna put some like just weld some M6 by like 1.5 bungs.
Oh right.
But that way works way better.
Yeah, it's so that's tacked on there now. I say yeah, these are removable plates here, so we can swing the engine in easy and
Wicked.
clutch spacer is on, reusing the cable clutch off the other engine.
Yeah. I guess that was like the challenge back at the start was normally the hydraulic. I reckon we get that tacked up and then just make sure that we've actually got a pedal. There is a little bit of adjustment in the little screw thing at the end of it there. Just tack it all up and then hopefully it doesn't ping the tacks.
There we put the new air operated shifter.
Oh, how does that look?
Mounted on there now. Just at the moment.
Oh, wicked.
So we utilised the other bikes, what do you call that bit that clamps on there.
Clamps onto the spline.
Yeah.
Oh, wicked, that alignment's real good as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So I knocked it off, and yeah, so we knocked it off, put the rose joint on there because the stock one was a little bit worn out and sloppy.
So what did you just have, like 17 coffees and go, right, bugger this, I'm going to just get all of the really shitty little horrible fiddly bits out.
For it really, and that sort of thing, so there's nothing to... So in a minute we'll do some more final welding and then we pull the engine out, fully weld everything, and then drop it back in for the, hopefully for the last time before it goes back to your place really.
Woohoo! We've got loads of room there for a bolt to come in and out. A very short bolt, mind you, but
just to stop it
it'll be enough, yeah. Oh mate, wicked! How good's that? Oh, so stoked. And that's why I guess, look, I'm so lucky to have Ollie on this, you know, because it's not normal to turn up with a frickin' Hayabusa engine and a Suzuki Carry. You know, he's used to playing with like massive ass drift cars and stuff like that do awesome skids, as opposed to little putt-putts. Stuff and things, as Matt would say. See you in a bit. Right, so Ollie has fully welded out this. We've just done a little bit of planning on what the cable routes are going to look like. This is the reverse box. This obviously selects reverse. I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if we can use that. It's just going to have the pedals on the steering wheel. Clutch cable is going to run down there and is positioning really nicely to get onto the bottom of this. Mount that bracket and then we'll have a clutch. I reckon we'll chuck it up in the air so that we can have a proper look at that. Bring it back down again. Take the engine out so that Ollie can fully weld all of the bits that he needs to fully weld. I think we'll remake this tab so that it can pick up this. And then throttle cable's all good, that'll run straight up. Look at this, the guy is an absolute bloody magician. Also just got these tacked up on the edge to hold the radiator, and then there's 2 more below it, so we'll be able to have a look at that, and we'll also be able to have a bit of a plan out of what the boost pipe, as Ollie calls them, or intercooler piping. Yeah, g'day. I don't know, should I get Allen key and find out? Come on, need a bit of luck on these builds. Guess what that was? One, never wanted a bolt. I've never wanted the bolt to hit the ground. I mean, by the time you whip everything else off, take the sump down and move it over, it'll be fine. Do you know what? I actually might just take this off now. I will speak to you guys in a second. I'm going to whip this off and just make sure it works. If anything, the top could tilt back towards you. If anything. Yeah, man. Mint.
I think if it did really want to, it could go top side of that tube.
Because we've still got all of that slack in there, right? So, like, I mean, we can, like, work wherever we want that to be. I don't reckon it needs to go top side of that. How are we on the adjustment? Oh, yeah, smack bang in the middle. Well done. And how strong's that?
So you need to fully weld this out now.
Yeah, how strong's that?
Oh, no, we probably need to put a bit more weld on that. So you see here a bit better the bracket we made here for the transfer box case. A little bit awkward because obviously this is bolted to the engine, so you don't want it to pull. So we pre-welded this, notched it, and then so we took any sort of weld movement out of that piece as much as we can, and then we'll weld this on fully. Then there is a little bit of play in the engine mounts just so everything can move a little bit, and then get this all bolted up and then snug everything down in one go once everything's sort of caught in place.
We've got to get the oil drain from there down into there, which is going to be interesting. I'll find out where the sump is, but there's not a lot of space there. Crack on, bro. All right, hopefully this doesn't go snap. You getting any movement out of it?
Yeah.
Doesn't need much, bro. Right, there we go, that's A gear, there we go, that's our gear.
Yeah.
Yeah? Right, here's clutch in.
No, still binding.
Still binding. Oh, well, that'll be that's a later job.
If you do it again,
right, coming down, watch your fingers. I mean, to be fair, I don't even think I'm getting all the way down. I'll just use my driver's seat, which will be there. Oh, there we go, snap.
Oh, popped off.
Popped off.
I suppose it's got like some racy ass clutch in this thing.
Yeah, bro.
Principle's still going to be there. I think it's just going to be beefing it up.
That's a later map problem.
Right.
What could you do there? It. Talk about it later. Right, engine out, which is a bit of a process. It's really easy when there's 2 of yous. You can see I've already had a go at this where I've cut a little bit out of it to make it a bit steeper. But I don't, because we want to be flatter now, don't we? So I probably would have been fine if they were squared out. Oh, Jesus. Engine's out. This is what we've got. Ollie's just going to go through, chuck a whole bunch of tacks and everything like that all over it. I'll try and get a better angle from up top once it's all done, but she's going to be strong as an ox.
Ain't going anywhere, mate. Nice.
Right. It came out in what?
10 minutes, wasn't it?
10 minutes.
We're going up and down the ramp.
So by the time you disconnect coolant,
Fuel.
wiring will be 5 minutes. I reckon you'd have this thing out sitting there in half an hour.
Yeah.
We found the oil turbo feed, so that's good.
Yeah, apart from final time out for paint, it's pretty much there. I'm not allowed to chip it up, so if anyone looks at this, I've been bad for it.
Ollie's going around.
That's every welder's got to chip their splatter off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's like, nah.
Yeah.
We're gonna go and just lug this thing in. Right, so van's down, we'll put the engine back in. We'll bolt it all together. We went together really well. Right, let me have a play with that. This will be interesting.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I will weld up the drill a hole, a nice billet sump, and weld that puppy on there without getting into this face. Alright, so we've drilled the hole as physically low as we can, down, got a nice fit there through for the return, and now we've got a fun job. Be nice and easy way around here, and it's just going to be keeping the weld nice and tight.
Crack!
Yeah. Well, on cover, I think we just managed to just miss the film. There's a hair there that'll whip off. We've still got a good true mated surface across 95% of it there.
So we started on the intercooler piping. We're going to get from here to that thing there, right on the silicon joint. We want to try and push this as much as we can that way. Yeah, be careful, mate. She's a disposable car, this one. Miller a mile, and we've got about 5 mils, as long as it's around like that.
Just thinking where we do a silicone joint, because obviously it's not going to be able to do one single piece there.
We've got some straight for connectors. We've got loads of bolt and worm drives. I've got a couple of straights there. I've got one 90 there, I've got another 90 there, and I've got a 45 over there. Hopefully, that's enough. This one here is, we've gotten it to this point here, which we're really happy with. And then Ollie's just got one more cut to do on the start of this one. Doing a bit of cleaning.
Give us an idea.
I'm gonna love you and leave you, bro. I've got to go and pick up the kids.
No worries. Well, if you let somebody see it, we're pretty much done.
Yeah.
All being well.
Yeah, as long as that FedEx delivery turns up tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be golden, yeah. Get the exhaust done.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, be cooking hopefully Saturday afternoon. Pick it up. Right.
Thanks a lot, bro. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Now that it's clean and it's hiding behind that door, we've got a whole bunch more work to do, but that's gonna come in the next episode. So if you've enjoyed this, like and subscribe to Matt's channel. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to Ollie for being such a patient, awesome legend. Love your work, bro. See you in the next one. Bye.